Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Silver's double flag pattern. Does that mean that the price is about to soar? Let's explore! This is some interesting commentary from economictimes.indiatimes.com. Sometimes it's good to get a perspective outside of the Western world. And Indians are quite unique because they, as a part of their culture, gold and silver are a great part in terms of dowry and holdings. And when they can't get gold, well, they go for silver. We've talked about that in prior videos as well. And this is some commentary from this particular website that says that knock knock, silver is spiking too, based off of this very rare price pattern. The current craze and euphoria around gold has been unprecedented. Indians suddenly seem to emerging as the best investors in gold, and the yellow metal is going through the roof. But have you also noticed that one of its major competitors or partner has started to resurrect itself from deep negativity? And how? That's silver for you. From the March low, here is a performance scoreboard of gold and silver. And here we see the chart here. We can see that silver has seen a 59% rally from the lows in March of 1161, and I think that was probably the ask price. And gold's low at $1,450.98. And compared to $18.50 now and $17.98 now. So gold has performed about 25% and silver's performed about 60%. But that's their argument that the silver is performing well, but that is always the case. Usually silver is more volatile, and really it should have never gone down to that low in the first place, is my argument. But anyways, the table clearly tells us that silver has managed to outperform gold from the COVID-19 correction, but I look at it from a different point of view. The white metal has managed to close at fresh quarterly high after almost 4 years, which by itself is a major feat. In fact, more than a feat, it's a statement. What's all the more intriguing for the silver chart is the rarest of rarest price patterns. And I'm going to go back because clearly this author here is very bullish on silver. And by the way, it does have room to move up, and I think it should be higher. But again, as I said, it should have never gone as low as it did. And I've argued this before, that the reason why that is the case is because silver is being viewed by the marketplace as a commodity more so than as a hedge or as money. That does not mean that I don't think that silver is not money or a hedge. I believe it is. But we have to look at it through different lenses now and be smart about how we purchase the metal. We have to change our viewpoint on how we look at the price performance of silver. And we're going to talk about this pattern here next. And I'm going to say why it really should not gauge our performance to get our hopes up too much. But the intriguing thing about this is this rare price pattern known as a double flag pattern. And you can see from the image here that what it represents here. Flag patterns are generally supposed to be the first stage of a bullish setup. If and when they perform perfectly, it could be the first signal of a new price trend. Now, if one flag can result one powerful new trend, imagine what could a double flag pattern be capable of. So this is technical analysis information here. We see the breakout point, where the flag reaches to the apex there and starts to move upwards. And we're poised for the same type of situation again with an almost identical flag with the same angle of downward momentum here. And we're at a point where it could go up again. The graphic says here that's extremely symmetrical. One follows exactly the other. The time frame of rally and consolidation is almost exactly the same. Will the outcome be the same? And they do ask it in terms of a question, and that is the thing. We don't know. That's the problem with technical analysis, is that you really just don't know. You can go based off of past performance, and with the data points that you enter in, yes, it would make sense based off of previous patterns. But there's a lot more that drives the price, I believe, than just patterns, and that is psychology and other factors that come into play here. So this conclusion from this article is that there is currently a rush to buy gold, and literally every Tom, Dick, and Harry on the street is advising investors to buy gold, hey, including me. But silver seems to be the asset class which is witnessing a major pickup. There's a long way for silver to catch up to the 2011 high of $49 to $50 an ounce, but the charts have primed the asset class in a way in which makes it an extremely strong candidate to watch from here on. And yes, there's a lot of room to move for silver, not only in the upwards direction, but also in the downwards direction. That's the thing that people have to keep in mind. Silver is more volatile. And so you can, in a sense, look at silver as a riskier kind of bet than gold, and in a sense invest in it in that regard, especially in the SLV, if that's how you want to look at it. And I know some people do look at silver as an investment in that regard, because if you buy silver with a major dip, like let's say you bought SLV when it was $11.70 an ounce, well, and you cash out now, you're doing pretty darn good. You're doing really good. That's an investment, but sometimes these investments, you look for opportunities to make money on them. But the reason why I don't view silver as an investment is because I look at it as a long-term hold to preserve your wealth in the long run. And I still believe that to this day, even though silver's performance has really been poor compared to gold over the periods of times that we've been covering this, especially in between and during the COVID-19 crisis. Now, gold is getting to the point now where it is so expensive. Let's take a look at the prices where they close for. Everything's down slightly today. That's people selling off to avoid suspending taxes, quarterly taxes, and the like. And these numbers will probably pick up around the next few days or two. We have just reached the end of a quarter, fiscal year, that type of thing, and it's the 1st of July. So we'll see how things go. The doldrums of summer have come through here. Now we're in the midst of it. But what's going to happen here with gold as being so high, and it's getting out of the affordability range for most people out there. And when I say that, I'm talking about the affordability range in terms of buying fractional gold too, because the premiums are still relatively high on those. And with the price being up, it makes it more difficult even to buy fractional for some folks out there, especially when you take into account the premiums and the increased spot price there. So what will be that line that people say, okay, I'm going to go back into silver again? Well, I know for me, I bought another ounce of silver today when I probably should have saved up for gold, but you know what? I was there, got a relatively good deal on my LCS, and I bought the darn thing. 1 ounce, that's it. But that could have been money that I would normally put towards gold. But there's just more room for silver to move up. Silver needs to catch up to gold, and people have been chomping at the bit for that to happen. It's not happened yet. We're ways off. Now, according here, the markets are where they're at right now. They are tepid, but the silver is up still over $18, and it dipped down below 18 for a while here. Let's see where we're at here. So $18 is a fluid number here for it. In fact, here we can see that it's just above $18 in the bid price, but it did go below 18 for a while earlier this morning. And so that is kind of where things are. There's more resistance on the upper side than there is the lower side at this point. Although if there's going to be any resistance, it's probably going to be in the 1750 range for silver for the floor. And we'll see. It's been a frustrating time, but we'll see how things play out. But nonetheless, this article, though, and I'm not discounting, could be right. It could be correct, and this double flag pattern could be poised for it to break out. I think there's more indications that the prices will go up for gold. And if they do, then that means that potentially we could see the prices increase for silver as well, as it rides gold's coattails, especially if gold breaks to new record highs, all-time record highs of over $1,900 an ounce. Now, we're still under $1,800 right now for the actual real price of gold. So I still think we're a ways out. But I think it's going to take something like that for silver to really take off. And, but, you know, I can see it in my head. And I just am very, very cautious in making any predictions to this regard, because I've made predictions that I stick with it for $20 silver by the end of the year. But that's not a bold prediction considering where we're at this year compared to last year. We didn't have the coronavirus at all last year in the news. But if silver does, if gold does reach out, there is a potential for silver to really start to really explode and skyrocket based off of the conditions that we're talking about here. And it could. I'm not discounting the possibility that it can't. And I'm not even discounting the possibility that it can't based off of this pattern that we're seeing here. But I just don't rely on technical analysis. I rely on what's happening really kind of on the ground and what's going on in the economy, psychologically, and geopolitically. Those are the factors that I hold a lot more weight on than this. But it is a rare pattern here, the double flag. And it's interesting to see it here. But I don't think it's necessarily out of the realm of possibility. You know, you can take and make things look however you want in terms of a pattern. You know, and this is kind of looks like this based off of what's drawn here. But you could probably go through a 100-year silver chart or a 5-year silver chart, probably find several of these, depending, and we'll see. But I guess it's the length of time and how long it is out there for. And I think that's kind of what is unique about this. But nonetheless, interesting analysis here from India. So let me know what your thoughts are below. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to all of you for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please gently caress that like button, very gently. We want to preserve that button to use it next time for the next video. And rate, comment, and subscribe.